Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. DAPs.
I'm Caitie.
I'm Jenny.
And tonight we are going to be talking about the Muppets, Florida, Epcot getting a new entrance plaza that's almost done. Tron, of course, and Tom Hanks. Is there anything that he can't do? We will find out tonight on Geeks Corner. While you're at it, we've got you. Make sure to subscribe to our channel right now so you don't miss any of the videos that we have coming up. In fact, we're going to tease some future videos tonight, so you might want to do that. And I think with that, we can get right into the show. How's that?
Yes.
All right.
That was a lot of words.
I know. I just was like, woo. But that was worth it right there.
Yes, it was.
Anyway, right now, as we speak, Murray is in Florida testing out Walt Disney World and Universal Orlando to see how it is, how safe it feels, all of those kinds of fun things. And we thought tonight we would show you a little bit of a highlight reel of what he has done with his first 3 days, I believe, of the trip. So we're going to start with that and leave us comments below with what you think about the trip, how safe it looks, and anything that you think will make Jenny laugh. With that, take a look at what Murray is up to. Now, I don't know that he actually wishes we were here. I added that.
That's a lie. That is a bold-faced lie.
He sent me all the videos, and then I edited them together, which you then got to watch or listen to if you're listening to the podcast. But it looks like he's having a grand old time. I did notice a couple of things, and I'll ask you guys what you noticed in just a second. One, it seems way busier at Universal than at Disney, which isn't a huge surprise, just from what I'm hearing of different incentives they're doing for passes and whatnot. Don't they have like a ticket thing where you buy one day and you get the rest of the year?
Yes, you get the rest of the calendar year for free.
which is impressive, although you don't get parking.
And I think you also only get until Christmas Eve, if I remember correctly.
Okay, cool.
It's something like that.
When I was editing the video together, I kept that really long walk through Universal, mainly because I was really amused that it totally looks like you're heading to Hogwarts. And then suddenly it's like, welcome to Jurassic Park. And I was like,
welcome to Jurassic Park.
I thought he was walking to the castle. Yeah,
I've never been to Universal Orlando or Islands of Adventure.
Neither.
So I
Just
have
the main
no... True. Yes, I've been to both main gates, never passed there. So I have no spatial awareness. So I was watching that video, and especially when he did that 360 craziness, I was like, what am I looking at?
Jenny, do you have any thoughts?
I liked that we went to Jurassic Park. That made my heart happy. And that we got out of the weird fisheye thing. I was like, oh, I don't like this.
So it's interesting. Murray is shooting on a 360 GoPro camera this week and giving it a test. And it so far is looking very cool. And the interesting thing with this camera is it's shooting 360, and then you can basically crop in to shoot more like forward regular video. And so I thought that was pretty cool. What do you guys think of Disneyland or Walt Disney World? Mike's noting that the parks are reducing their hours, and do you think they may close parks again if they're losing more money than they're making? Absolutely, they'll do that. Bob Chapek, the new CEO, has said that if it's not making money, it won't stay open. I think they are making money, and they're just trying to capitalize on that. But that is also why you're seeing some restaurants close. What do you guys think of Walt Disney World?
I think that the social distancing and mask compliance seems to be a little bit better. In his Universal videos, or video, how many were there? I don't remember. 1, 2. There was people just kind of sitting around with no masks on. They were outside of mask relaxation areas, unless Murray was walking through a mask relaxation area,
which is possible.
Which is possible. But you don't really see that at Disney. And people were just kind of farther apart at Disney. Again, I don't know the layout of Universal Orlando. It could just be that it does not lend itself to being spread out very well. Like, that bridge doesn't have a ton of space to do such things. And Magic Kingdom's huge. So Magic Kingdom, there's a lot of space to do things like that. But that was just my...
Well, as Emmy's saying, that you have to have that experience of going from Harry Potter music to Jurassic Park music. And Stephen, I believe, says that Hogwarts is on Jurassic Park Island because they had to relocate after that nasty business with the Death Eaters. So it all makes sense. But yeah, it did seem like Walt Disney World was emptier and also had higher compliance of masks and the 6 feet apart thing. And so that's probably a good thing. And we've got a joke for you, Jenny.
I'm ready.
So Busman 101 says, what do you call a girl cow after it has a baby?
What?
Decaffeinated.
I think that's a Caitie joke.
That was pretty good. You got Caitie, Busman.
Really good. You got Caitie.
That was very good. Yeah, so
I like that.
As you were watching this, was there any moment where, as you were looking through the different videos, you just had that like Disney magic, or I guess Universal magic moment of just like, it's still there?
It's almost weird to see inside a theme park again. Murray and I have been texting while he's in Florida, and he texted me that clip of whatever the street party's called at the moment. I don't know what they're calling the street party.
I believe that's the Mickey and Friends Cavalcade, if I remember correctly.
Okay. I was like, they're using the same floats for Move It, Shake It, but I don't know what they're calling it. But we definitely both had a moment of like,
it's magic.
Yeah. Like,
that's actually why I included that clip, because I was like, oh, we'll have this little nod to Murray's favorite show at Disneyland.
Favorite show of all time.
His favorite song, like, I'm pretty sure he has that song on every playlist.
I can just picture him hearing that cavalcade coming and like running across Tomorrowland to get there or something, like, and like flailing as he's running to get through the non-existent crowds. And
I think one of my favorite Murray memories of Disneyland was one time he didn't know that Mickey's Mixed Magic was going to happen. And he heard the Bill Rogers announcement of join us tonight for Mickey's Mixed Magic. And we were leaving. And Murray literally went, oh, no, sorry, guys. Bye.
I'm gonna stay.
Okay, have a great night. I'm staying. I got to watch it. I love that man.
Little did we know, he was very wise. Yes.
I know.
All right. So let's stay in Florida for a minute more. And this morning we saw pictures of the pylons in front of Spaceship Earth at Epcot. They're the new ones with the Epcot logo that have this crystal look to it. And what do you think of this start of what will actually be a fountain as well, which I think is going to be interesting?
I love it. I love it so much. I love Epcot a lot, as if anyone's surprised. For context of when I saw this for the first time, it was, I think, 5 a.m. here. Whoa. Oh, okay. Gotta like recenter myself. It was like 5 a.m. And the first tweet I saw was from friend of the show, Mikey, my really likey. He said, I'm reliving my childhood. And I saw the tweet and I was like, okay, yeah, great picture of the old fountain. And then I went on Instagram and I went, oh, wait, this is like real life, like right now. And then I went to sleep thinking I had dreamt it. And then I woke up again and was very happy that we had done an article, which to me meant that it was real. I think they're gorgeous. The pictures from today at sunset. Beautiful. I love that Epcot logo. I'm glad that we're seeing it in circulation again, like being used. I love Epcot, man. Like,
Jenny, what do you think of it?
So excited.
I think it looks like an award. It looks like it's like the People's Choice Award, or like when you get an award at like a fancy banquet, because it's like this clear, beautiful, like crystal-looking thing, and there's 3.
Thank you for participating.
Right? Yeah, and so like in looking at the article with like the concept art, I was like, oh, it's a fountain that like water's gonna shoot up out of. Then I was like, yes.
My big question, as I was realizing there was going to be water shooting up around it through the middle, whatever, isn't that going to create watermarks all over that?
Yes.
Like, I don't know that it'll ever look quite as good as it did this morning. I don't know.
Yeah, but if there's constantly water shooting up out of it, then it's not a big deal.
True. You haven't been to Epcot yet, Jenny.
No.
Are you as excited about this new entrance and the new look with the pylons and the fountain, all of that? Or is it just kind of like, that's nice?
I was like, I think the ball is pretty cool. Just like by itself. Like, because it's like massive. And this is just kind of like here's a new like shiny toy that will be fun to take pictures of with the giant ball.
Someday. It'll be a great video. I feel like there's going to be so many moments whenever we get you to Florida for the first time where you're going to do your little ooh thing with the giggle at the end. And that's
not of what you speak.
I know it's okay. We'll get it on video. Maybe we'll have to bring Murray's 360 GoPro so you can see everybody at the same time and all the reactions like that. That could be fun.
It's okay because you'll get Jenny doing that on video, but Jenny and I have already discussed that when the 3 of us go to Walt Disney World, we're all going to do face masks and put cucumbers over our eyes for beauty rest. So,
okay. You do that. I'm going to go to Walt Disney World and have fun.
And we'll watch the Walt Disney World TV loop and it'll be great. But that'll be Jenny's first trip to Walt Disney World and it'll be special.
Okay. Let's move on from Walt Disney World now then. It appears that Tom Hanks is going to take on another iconic role. And this time it's going to be Geppetto. He's in talks with Disney to take over that role. One they actually talked to him about a couple years ago, and then he declined. But now Robert Zemeckis is behind the movie, and they've worked together a few times before, so it looks like this is definitely a possibility. Nothing's confirmed until Disney says so, of course, but usually by the time it gets to this point, there's a fairly decent chance that this could happen. So if Tom Hanks is Geppetto, what do they do with the story of Pinocchio? Does this change it and it's now through the lens of Geppetto? Or does he become basically a secondary character in another Pinocchio that's done the way Robert Zemeckis likes to do movies?
I don't know. I would personally love to see a Pinocchio story told through the frame of Geppetto. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to say, oh, Pinocchio's Geppetto's story, but really, I think that it would be a very interesting story told from the point of view of Geppetto. Because at the end of the day, he's just a very, I don't want to say he's a sad, lonely old man, but he really just wanted a child, and that's what Pinocchio becomes. And of course, we see all of Pinocchio's adventures through the lens of Pinocchio, but I would love to see it through Geppetto and the loss he feels and the joy he feels, and I think that'd be great.
Janny?
I have secret magical hopes that Tom Hanks will not only be Geppetto, but what if he's also Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins, how he also got to be the mean banker? What if he's also Stromboli?
Oh my gosh.
I love that.
Or the man who runs Pleasure Island. Or, what if there's that secret duality or something like that? I don't know if there's enough about Geppetto to make it Geppetto's story.
Well,
because obviously he keeps losing his child.
True.
Why is he letting his child walk to school with a cricket? What's that cricket gonna do? He's this big.
If Jiminy Cricket's in this one. Where I'm getting this idea is I was thinking about how Disney has redone live action movies and taken different perspectives, Maleficent being the prime example. And I kind of was like, well, if you're going to have an actor like Tom Hanks in this movie, I feel like he's not just really a secondary character, a supporting role, especially since that's the one they seem to be super excited about. But so I wonder if you're almost going to see the backstory of Geppetto, and then Pinocchio is the second half of the movie or something, where you really see the lead up of him being, the toy maker that loves kids but was never able to have his own. And there's this tragic backstory of, he had a wife and she died or something. And then they're going to really go for the heart, I feel and create this very lonely toy maker that then Pinocchio comes along and gives the hope that he's never had before, and who knows how that plays out. The one thing I hope they don't do is I don't want him to also play Pinocchio.
Yeah.
No, that would be weird.
That would be like the time I saw Into the Woods and the narrator also played the baker's baby. Yes, it was creepy. I'll tell you about it sometime.
It never gets old when you tell it.
Because it was weird. It was
man.
one of
I don't even want to know. I don't even like it.
Just imagine a 60-year-old, maybe 65-year-old man standing on the stage, flapping his arms like a baby wanting to be picked up and pretending to cry in low man voice. That's all I have.
Could you do this low man voice?
No.
Right?
No. Just leave it to your imagination. You can't get
If at some point in the movie Tom Hanks does not use the Italian hand, when he says Pinocchio, I'm going to be upset.
Yes, I think that's completely fair. I think there's a lot of potential with this, though, and it'll be interesting to see how much they divert from the original film.
Sorry, I was just reading Mike's comment about Colin Hanks, and I am on board. Colin Hanks is Pinocchio.
There you go. I hope
as an adult, in the oh yes, oh I would love that. I would cry. I also like Colin Hanks. I think he's a good actor.
Okay, so are we excited about this movie, or is it one that we're a little bit worried about? My only concern is CGI with this film, to be completely honest.
Yeah, that could get a little cheesy.
Yeah, I hope it's not too fluidic and weird. But all right. Well, we will continue to follow this story, and hopefully we'll have updates on it being a real thing at some point, and more details, and eventually a movie. Speaking of other fun things that we like to watch, Muppets Now had its second episode this last weekend arrive on Disney Plus, and it had, I think, actually one of the funniest Muppet sketches of all time. And Beaker got to take home the prize, I think. And for those of you who haven't seen this yet, we probably will be talking a little bit about spoilers, but not too massively. It'll be basically just an overview of what it was about, but no plot details. Is that fair? Because
Sure.
we won't give away the end of it or anything. Anyway, they're playing with fire, basically, is the premise of this sketch, and Beaker goes insane. Like, it was amazing, and I think it was one of the funniest things. And a side funny thing is they clearly filmed this next to a freeway. So if you look up the hill during the segment, you see cars whizzing by occasionally, and I was very amused by that as well. What did you guys think of this week's episode? And that was my favorite segment this week. What was your favorite segment?
My favorite, I mean, it's a tie between Okie Dokie Cookin' and Bunsen and Beaker, mainly because the Swedish Chef has been my favorite from last episode to this episode, but also Beaker is my favorite Muppet. So
cool. Jenny, what did you think of the show, and what was your favorite part?
My favorite part was yoga with Miss Piggy and Tay Diggs.
That was pretty funny.
Because I thought that was amazing.
It was
like the poses were like spot on. And I don't know, that was my favorite one. Yeah. I thought the Swedish Chef went like that one was okay this week.
I thought it was.
I liked last week's better.
I think last week's was funnier. This week's was cuter. Like this had that like this week's was a little bit more predictable, but it was very cute, and I just liked how they resolved it, even though it was ridiculously predictable. And but I found it completely enjoyable. Caitie, do you have a rebuttal to that?
To Okie Dokie Cookin'?
Yeah. I mean, Bailey does, and I agree with her.
Yes. The mole made me so happy because it was so cute. I think at one point they put sour cream on his head, and he's like, I loved that. I also think that episode 2 overall was just stronger than episode 1. I did have a friend that said that they could not get themselves to finish episode 1 because they did not like it. And I said, I promise, get to episode 2. It's a lot more fun. I liked episode 1. Yes, they did.
Good.
They did like episode 2. But I came from the same spot that they did. They just wanted the Muppets to do well. They said, please just like watch episode 2. I think they're coming into their stride. So I'm very excited to see what next week brings.
It'll be interesting, though, because the way this was filmed was as a bunch of internet shorts a year ago that they've basically compiled into a show. So all of the transitions are new, but I think most everything else was pre-recorded a year ago. So it'll be interesting to see if they do get into their stride, or if they're just getting better at making it flow better or gel a little bit better. And and that'll be interesting to see. I'm also curious to see, knowing that they filmed everything a year ago, have we heard anything about it getting renewed yet? Because
I haven't.
Yeah, I haven't either. So I'm curious about that. And that could be something that they're waiting to be able to film together, and then they can do it together as well. But I am curious. All right, we are going to move on to Jenny's favorite subject, Tron.
Why is it my favorite subject?
I don't know. I was just looking down, and I was like, I'm just going to say it's Jenny's favorite. Electronica was fun, though. So there is a third Tron movie. If you look hard enough, you can find the name of it. I don't know how happy people are that the name got released this week, so I'm not going to say it right now.
I'm going to say not happy at all.
We did not cover that just because of the way it came out. Didn't seem like it was perhaps the best way to release a name. But what we did cover is Tron 3 has a director, it has an actor. What do we think of that so far? And I'm kind of curious about Caitie's opinion, just because you haven't seen any of them.
I haven't.
Jenny, have you seen them?
I watched them on Disney Plus.
Oh, that's right. You've watched them both. Okay. So what do you think?
I'm interested. I think the director, I've already forgotten their name. But I was like, oh, that's interesting. And it's Jared Leto, right?
Yes.
Right?
And Garth Davis.
So proud of myself, guys. Not the name of the director.
Garth Davis.
There we go. I don't know why I couldn't remember that, y'all. It's like clearly
he's not a huge name director yet.
Right, but I just read it before the show. But Jared Leto, I like. So I would be interested to see him weave into this world of weird. Because Tron is weird.
It is. And I'm curious where you go with it next. Like, I don't actually know where they go with it next after the last two. Caitie, without knowing anything about Tron, what do you think about this next movie?
I like the aesthetic of Tron. So
did you see did you go to Electronica when it was there? And did you see the preview for Tron Legacy when it was there?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So when Electronica closed, I think I was 14.
Okay.
I think I was 14 or 15. I don't know what year it closed, but or it might have been earlier than that because T was like when I was in high school.
Okay.
I never really did things at Disneyland. I went to entertainment. That is all I did when I was in my young teen and late teen and kind of still now years. I just walk around and experience things. So I never went into theaters or did anything like that. But like I said, I had been to Electronica, I think twice. And I liked the aesthetic of it. And it was fun. I know end of line.
I will say I enjoyed the preview. I don't know if you did, Jenny, but I did think it was a good use of that theater. In fact, one of the better uses of that theater for a preview. Would you agree with that?
We watched it several times.
I know. I didn't know that if that means you liked it or not, though.
I mean, if I didn't enjoy it, I would have not watched it.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. So here's my big question for you is they have the Tron Light Cycle going to Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World. They've already got it at Shanghai Disneyland. If you were putting a Tron attraction at the Disneyland Resort, is that what you would want? Or would you want something unique and completely brand new? And if so, what? And if you would want the Tron Light Cycle, where would you put it?
I'm not proud. I'm okay with getting a clone.
Okay.
Where
would you put it?
Light cycles, I don't think people are going to like what I'm about to say. So
we're listening.
Let's go, internet.
Okay.
If you, let's say hypothetically, you were to need a lot of space in Tomorrowland. If you were to get rid of Autopia, Launch Bay, and the submarines, you'd find a lot of space.
What would you do with the monorail?
I don't know. You could. The monorail loop has changed before.
I think you could get away with it without getting rid of the submarines, to be completely honest. I bet you could get rid of Autopia and Innoventions and have it interloop with the monorail track and over submarines, perhaps.
I was going to say, you could even, if you do need to redo the monorail loop, they have redone it in the past. Also, all of this is hypothetical, so because I don't think that Disney would necessarily do any crazy thing like this at this moment in time. But when we inevitably get a retheme of Tomorrowland, I wouldn't be opposed. Autopia as an opening day attraction. That's the only reason why I have like a hurt in my heart to say to get rid of it.
Jenny, what would you do?
I wouldn't touch Autopia. I love Autopia. Submarines could go away, but I don't know but like an underwater Tron attraction?
Ooh, Ooh.
Because you
That's
know how
clever.
like, you know, like Nemo already looks like it's in the dark, even though it's not. So but what if it was, I don't know, I was also thinking about like the people mover track, and I was like, could Tron be something
That's
where
the
you
direction I was going, is take out the people mover track, replace it with the Tron track. It may not be quite as fast as light cycles everywhere else, but you could use the same sort of system, and that could be kind of an interesting thing. I don't know. I like it. We are getting requests for a revamp of Tomorrowland from Emmy. Silver Bullet says wants a serious reskin of Autopia. I agree. I think Autopia just needs a really cool upgrade. And even if the upgrade were to take it a little bit more into the past and give it that retro futuristic, look that they've leaned into in other places, but if they really went for it, like the cars at Disneyland Paris, I think are better than ours, because they kind of have this timeless, almost cartoon feel to them, and I wouldn't mind something like that. But there's lots of room. Yeah, Caitie.
Let us just remember that if they do redo Tomorrowland, Space Mickey can't go anywhere.
That is true. Space Mickey is a sacred ornament that should not be moved from Tomorrowland unless you put it right at the entrance.
Yeah, I would accept that, I think.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. So as you're accepting that, can you get us out of here?
Yeah. You should go to dapsmagic.com. Check out all the Disney and geek news as it happens. Also, click on the cute little tab that says Geeks Corner, and you'll find all of our antics from the last decade.
And Jenny, what else should they do?
You can follow us on Twitter at The Geeks Corner, because we're fancy there, or on Instagram as Geeks Corner. And then tomorrow you can find out like weird facts about us.
That is true. We'll have our Wacky Wednesdays up. And also make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got lots of videos that are going up, and I'm assuming we'll have more. Well, I know we have more coming, so you won't want to miss any of them. And if you ever have requests for live streams, let us know, and we will do our best to accommodate those as well. But that is all the time we have for you this week, so we will see you around the corner.
Bye.